Hi everyone. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to solve Litcode daily challenge problem number 6, zigzag conversion. So in this problem, basically we'll have to rearrange the given string into a particular zigzag format, and we have to read it in a row-wise manner. Okay. We will be given a string and a number of rows parameter in which we'll have to distribute the values such that, for example, in this string, we were given PayPal is hiring. Okay, we populated the first first index of every column. So if you see, we are following this format. So from top to down first, then we are moving diagonally to the top, then again top to bottom, then again moving diagonally to the. So this is a zigzag motion, obviously. So we'll have to follow this motion and we will then read this. So to simplify the things, what I'm going to do is let's assume this diagram into segments. Okay. So let's say this is one segment, PAYP. This is a segment. Then ALIS is a segment. Then HIRI is a segment. Then same with NG. Okay. And it is very easy for us to find out what would the difference between this and this string or character. Okay, but the complications comes when we have to figure out this element particularly, or anything in the diagonals. More interestingly, I think we should consider this one because it is a bit more it has a bit more rows and it is really visible. So if you see over here, the difference between these elements are basically 2 into number of rows minus 1. Okay, and we can obviously we can just figure out these very easily, but when it comes to the diagonal element, there is a method. I took some time to figure out that pattern, but it is a really simple one to to get. So the formula for this will be very simple. For example, if you are in this segment, if you are in the first segment, okay, let's say you are in row number one, because obviously in Python, row indexing starts with a zero. So in row number one, you are at so one, two, three, four, five. It's at the fifth index, correct? Like fifth index from your current element in the row. So to calculate that, what you can do is, let's say you are at I, okay, and we have to move how much? Five indexes for any next for let's say for this particular character. Okay, so 1 plus your whatever increment it is minus 2 into r. So r was 1, so 2 into 1 is 2. So when you do this, you will simply get your diagonal letter. So just to put the numbers over here, let's say we were at this element and our number of rows was 2, and we wanted to do increment of what, 2 into 3, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get till this point. Now I want to subtract out 2 into r, like whatever row number we are at. So we are at row number 1. So we'll have to subtract 2, right? So 1 and 2. You'll end it up over here. So if you follow this format, we will be able to simply implement the solution. So let's start. Let's start the coding part of the solution. Okay. So first things first, I want to define. Sorry, I want to define a base condition in which if my number of rows is exactly equal to number of one exactly equals to one. In that case, obviously we know that we'll simply just return out the string, like whatever string we'll get. Next thing is I want to initialize my result. Okay, and I have initialized it with an empty string, and I'll be appending everything down in the same variable. Next thing, of course, we want to run a loop for each row, each individual row. So for let's say row in range of number of rows. We're good till this point. Now we know to get the next element in the next segment, we need increment of what? 2 into n minus 1, correct? So this is the increment which we'll have to do to get the first or the next index of the next segment. Okay, so once we get the increment, what I want to do is I want to run a loop for I in range of R and length of S, and I want to increment this every time to get all the elements for a particular row, correct? Once we are at this point, so we will get the we'll get all the major elements like from the columns. We are not talking about diagonals right now. Like at this moment, we are not talking about the elements at the diagonal. So what we'll have to do over here is just simply append that element into my result set. Okay, we are good till this point. Next comes the interesting part where we want to identify the diagonal element in the same row. For that, we finalized an algorithm in which, or a formula in which the formula to identify the element was 1 plus increment minus 2 into R. Okay, your current element plus the increment minus 2 times the row number. Okay, so what we need to check is if my R is greater than 0. So if you see the pattern example in the last row and the first row, this particular format is not getting followed. Okay, it will just get restricted to this part, and I do want to check the same condition for the last row as well. Number of rows minus one. Cool. Next condition is let's see if this index comes within the is a valid index or not. So to do that, let's check if my in I plus this is less than length of s, because obviously like you'll have to check that, otherwise you're gonna overflow. Now if yes, like if all this condition satisfies, I will simply just add the element at this index into our result, and at the last we are simply returning the result. So let's check out the test cases. Yeah, so the test cases are clear. Let's submit for further evaluation. And awesome. So the solution got accepted and we performed decent, like we outperformed 96.82% of the submitted solutions. So yeah, thanks again guys for watching out the video and stay tuned for upcoming ones. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.